Does Google use robots to hire the best people? Let's find out in this video. It would kind of make sense that Google may be using something like a hidden robot in some cupboard to figure out if people are going to be a great hire for the company. You might be thinking that Google's got some kind of fancy tools for hiring people when they get so many applications they need to actually filter using some really smart tools. They probably have something like statistical modeling, algorithmic hiring, who knows? That's all probably a secret. But really, some of the tools it uses to hire some of the best people are no secret. Laszlo Bock, the ex-SVP of people operation, managed to put together everything Google does to hire the best people, and some of the tools are surprisingly simple. So simple you might be thinking, really? They don't have a robot sitting somewhere? They probably do. If you're interested in seeing what he's put together in one place, there is a website called Work. Check it out. But in the meantime, let's find out what the simple tools are that Google uses to hire the best people. Role descriptions. Google managers lean heavily on role descriptions. They come in very handy for Google because a lot of times it gets a lot of applicants who look very similar on paper. A lot of them went to Stanford or Ivy League schools or whatever the equivalent is everywhere else in the world. And they've probably worked in tech companies, very similar looking tech companies. So how do you filter them? Role descriptions are a good way. And there's a very non-tech way to do it, which is surprising that Google uses it so well. A robot would go kerthunk trying to sift through all of those candidates who look similar on paper. There's no data for it to go, okay, this guy looks different to this guy because they both went to Stanford or some top-end school and they probably worked at similar companies. How do you sift between them? That's where role descriptions come in handy. They help with the filtering process. Every job candidate gets a full job description before they turn up for an interview. The idea behind that is for them to self-qualify. They can think one of two things, yes or no. With a yes, it would be, I'm not really interested in doing some of these duties. I think I am better than that. Or, I wouldn't even know where to start doing some of these duties on this job description. That same role description, you notice I'm calling it a job description, role description. It's the same thing. You're describing a role, you're describing the job, same thing. That same role description comes into play during the actual interview. Google's managers grill candidates on how they acted in the past during tasks listed in the job description. They're trying to get an understanding of the candidate's behaviors, how they go about the work, how they solve problems, how they make decisions. I can imagine would-be Googlers during the actual interview being asked a question like this. Tell me about a time you had to solve a code issue like this. What was your process for solving it? What people and resources did you rally to help you solve the problem? Can you run me through a chronological process of all of this happening? Role descriptions are a very handy tool, and you just need a pen, a piece of paper, and knowledge about the job to use this tool. Use it the next time you need to filter a pool of highly qualified candidates who look very similar on paper, because Google does it all the time, and if they don't need a fancy robot to hire people, well, they probably use it at some point. Now, you may have noticed the video quality is pretty average. I'm working on it. I'm new to this. The audio is not so great either. I'm not an AV guy, so I'm working on it. In the meantime, subscribe below, and I will keep you posted with new insights to help you hire better, manage better, and improve your boss IQ.